The main components consist of the monorail assembly with the seat, the tank assembly, the two sub-rails, and the footboard. Included in the box is also the siphon pump, the sub-rail bracket, the owner's manuals, and the bits bag with all the nuts and bolts. Step 1. Attach each sub-rail to the monorail. The dolly wheels are positioned on the outside. Use 2 pairs of JCN nuts and JCB bolts to connect the wooden sub-rail to the monorail. Use the 5mm Allen key provided to tighten the bolts. Please note, do not tighten these bolts all the way. Step 2. Place the tank assembly on the sub-rails. Using the 5mm Allen key and 4 pairs of JCN nuts and JCB bolts, 2 pairs on each side, attach the forward riser bracket to the rails. You may need to lift and adjust the tank assembly for the holes to line up and secure the bolts. Again, please do not tighten the bolts all the way. This will be done at the end of the assembly process. Step 3. Attaching the footboard. First, release the monitor wire, and then remove the 4 bolts from behind the footboard. These bolts are used in steps 6 and 8. Next will be to attach the sensor cable to the monitor cable. Rest the footboard in position and attach the sensor cable to the monitor cable. As you place the footboard in position, please feed the cable through the metal key brackets so it does not get trapped between the footboard and the tank assembly. Trapping the cable can cause damage and can result in the monitor not working correctly. Loosen the top deck bolts to allow more space to align the riv nuts in the 2 metal brackets with the footboard handle rest holes. Place the footboard firmly in position. Step 4. Using the 5mm Allen key, screw in the 2 handle rests through the top of the footboard and into the riv nuts of the metal brackets. Do not tighten these bolts all the way. Also note, the flat edge of the handle rest is facing downwards. Step 5. Screw in the long clamp bar bolt. By having kept all the screws loose, will allow movement in both the footboard and monorail to align the center holes. Screw in the long clamp bar bolt far enough so it secures the footboard to the monorail. You do not need to tighten this bolt all the way. Step 6. Securing the back of the footboard. Stand the machine up and insert 2 of the back of the footboard bolts. Again, having kept all screws loose will allow easier alignment. You can also apply pressure to the sub-rail and to the footboard to help with alignment. Step 7. Align and secure the sub-bracket. Insert the sub-bracket bolt through the U in the rail sub-bracket and into the monorail. This will hold the bracket in place for Step 8. Step 8. Using the 2 remaining back of the footboard bolts, secure the sub-bracket to the underside of the footboard. You can tighten these bolts firmly. Step 9. From Step 7, tighten the rail sub-bracket bolt. Your WaterRower assembly is almost complete. Please go back and tighten all the nuts and bolts. Those bolts in the sub-rails, the top deck bolts, the handle rest bolts, and the center footboard bolt. Step 11. Connecting the recoil belt to the bungee cord. Unwrap the recoil belt from the forward riser bracket, making sure the belt runs below and around the lower pulley. Attach the D-ring on the recoil belt to the bungee hook. Step 12. Filling the tank with water. Remove the tank stopper, which is housed next to the left key bracket. Using the hand siphon pump provided or a hose, fill the tank with standard municipal water. Fill the tank to the recommended water levels, which can be found on the level gauge sticker underneath the tank. Please do not overfill the tank. You are now ready to row.